On an all-new Buffy, someone's playing a very deadly game.
It could be anyone. This to me says demon.
I can't go out there.
You can't stop it.
We will find this murderer.
You can't kill it.
There's something there.
Because it's not even alive. An all-new Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Hey guys, welcome to yet another watch along on Balloon Hit Productions. I'm your host as usual. My name is Marcelo Nostroza. I'd like to welcome you to my watch along for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 1, Episode 9, entitled The Puppet Show. All right, guys, well, if you've never been here before, this is how I do watch alongs. In just a few moments, I'm going to switch over to the streaming service of my choice that I'm going to be watching this episode on. For me, that's Hulu. Once I get over there, I will give you guys a countdown from 3. I'll go in 3, 2, 1. And when I say play, that will be your opportunity to sync up your copy of this episode at home if you want to watch along with me. Oh, and just a quick note, because I've been forgetting this for the last couple of weeks. I always start my watch alongs from absolute zero. So whether you're watching a copy of this episode on a streaming service like I am doing tonight, or whether you're watching a copy of this episode on DVD, or God help you have the Blu-rays, I believe if we start at absolute zero, we should be fine. So enough of enough of my ramblings on, and shall we get to it? So I'm going to turn off my camera now. Oh, sorry guys, I'm just getting comfortable here. All right, guys, in 3, 2, 1, play. You know, if you've been watching these Buffy episodes, if you've been watching my Buffy watch along for season 1, you know that I don't know how I really feel about that opening sort of video package, basically telling you what the show is about. I'm warming up to it now. I'm warming up to it now. And this is a great way to open up an episode with a creepy guy leering at high school girls while they're practicing for a talent show in their high school. It's just a really creepy way to do something really creepy. And then of course you have the ventriloquist guy with the He looks terrified. Oh my god, he looks terrified. You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? God bless Giles. Oh. Oh my god. But yeah. By the way, guys, when I was in high school, I was terrified of being selected for a talent show or doing anything where I had to get up in front of big, large crowds of people and perform. So when I was watching this episode back in the day, this episode really hit all the right notes for me, because what the characters were feeling in this episode, I was feeling. So it was a perfect microcosm of events when I watched this episode for the first time. It's just so great. You know, Buff, I think you're speaking too soon. And uh-oh. You know, I mean, I've said this in other watch alongs for Buffy, but when I was watching Buffy, I had not watched D Space Nine yet. And now, since Deep Space Nine is one of my favorite Star Trek shows of all time, every time I see Principal Snyder, I go, "Wait a minute, why is Principal Snyder talking like Quark?" But then I was like, "Holy shit, he is Quark!" So yeah, but but you know, in all honesty, Armin Shimmerman will always be Principal Snyder to me first. Then he'll be Quark. This is great writing by the writer of this episode. Buffy and the Scoobies come in complaining about the talent show and how lucky they are not to be in it and how they're gonna just sit down, how they're gonna sit and just mock the participants, and then the writer the writer shifts the pressure on them by having the Principal Snyder, forced them to participate in the talent show. It's just great writing. Setup and payoff, guys. And as a writer, I couldn't enjoy setup and payoff more, guys. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And the fact that they're all terrified now, it just makes it even better. By the way, when I was a kid, this episode sort of perpetuated my fear of dummies for a while. I used to be terrified of dummies for a large portion of my teenage years and my early adulthood until I kind of got over it. Um, but yeah, this started a trauma that I was lucky enough to get over with. This episode started a trauma that I was lucky enough to get over, but it took me a while. Also, it's really, really great here that the writer make that dichotomy that when Morgan is telling the jokes, they're bad, but when the Sid entity takes over or the Sid demon takes over, the jokes become good and they become dirty. See? Dirty joke. A dramatic reading, guys. You do a dramatic reading and you're in and out. But again, saying that and actually picking a dramatic reading, standing in front of the whole school and doing it is 2 different things. So saying that you guys should just do something is one thing, but actually doing it is totally, totally different. So I do acknowledge that. I said this in a previous watch along for Buffy. I understand that the lighting was the way it is because of financial reasons, but I kinda like it. It adds to all these sequences where you have, uh, uh, characters of the week being preyed upon by that week's big bad or that week's big villain, and it's just great. Also, that line there, I will be flesh." Perfect. Normally, I talk over this part, but you know what? I'm just gonna let us sit here and watch it this time in all of its glory. Great shot of Sarah there. Of course, it's a high school talent show. There's always gotta be it's a high school talent show. Of course, there's gotta be one doofus that does a does a boring magic show. See, dramatic reading, guys. I told you. It's like I've seen this show before. See? What I was saying before, right? Saying that something is easy is one thing, but actually attempting that thing and doing it is totally different. See, and also I love how this episode really skirts the expectations by presenting us with one picture of who we think is going to be the bad by presenting us with one picture about who we think is going to be the bad about who we think is going to be the big bad as opposed to who it actually ends up being. Let's face it, guys, if Principal Snyder was a principal in today's climate, he would have been fucking fired off like the first day. I think somebody like Principal Flutie would have survived a little bit longer in today's educational climate, let's say. I mean, I could be wrong. What do you guys think? For someone who constantly says he doesn't like kids, why is he a fucking principal? Why would you go and do a job that you absolutely despise and hate? I mean, the money can't be that great if you're a high school principal. Is anybody out there who can possibly watching this right now? If you're a high school principal and if you're comfortable, drop your base salary in my comments. I want to know. I want to know. Oh, cool. And I love the way that the writers of this episode did that because we find out that the first victim of the big bad in this episode was Dancer Emily, right? And this episode opens up with a voice googling over Emily, right? So we associate the voice with with lust for Emily, so we immediately go to, oh, it's the guy with the creepy voice. I just had a thought. I was like, have there ever been any human villains in Buffy? But then I remembered, oh yeah, that motherfucking guy. That comes later, and I'm not gonna spoil that because that is one of the best fucking arcs of the whole fucking show. Could be you. No, it can't be you. I love how when she says it could be anyone, it could be me. I love how they considered it for like a second. Morgan. Suspect number one, Morgan. Oh, Cord. Are you kidding me? Cordy throughout season 1 of Buffy always plays like she really cares about people, but she doesn't really care at all. She's a stuck-up high school girl, and it's and personally to me, it's a fucking annoying because I just feel kind of bad for Charisma Carpenter that she has to play this character, but hey, in real life, there are people out there like Charisma Carpenter. I had them in my high school, and I know this is not a popular sentiment, but what happens to Cordy and Angel is absolutely fantastic. But some people out there, you know who you are, love Cordy just the way that she is. Just the way that she is in Buffy. I want to be clear about that. So creepy. That doll looks like Sid the doll looks like a more adult version of somebody who would be in um, a Goosebumps episode or something like that. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You guys think I'm just talking in a mask? You know, I'm laughing because of what happens later. There there you go. Well, I got an idea if you guys wanna listen to me. Why don't you guys, uh, concoct a plan that actually works, and Buffy will go, slay, and y'all will win. It doesn't have to be that complicated, guys. I'm just saying, what do you guys think? What do you guys prefer, talent show or a murder? Would you guys rather go to a talent show or solve a murder? Well, I guess we're gonna deal with the talent show and then have to deal with the murder. In the comments below, tell me what you guys prefer. Well, while you're wasting your time, just pump it. Also, also, like, why does, like, but, Sunnydale High School has the worst security I've ever seen. And what the hell is Principal Snyder doing there? This is really this really, perpetuates the idea that, Sid the dummy is doing this for nefarious purposes, you know? And when you find out what he needs to do, that is kind of vindictive and that is kinda evil, but maybe he's doing it for a good reason, I'll just say. You know what? I can't defend that. What am I talking about? What Sid is doing is ghoulish. I'll just say that. That's not creepy at all. Buff, I think you could just toss this one up as, "Oh, Gail thinks she has a nightmare," or Gail thinks she had a nightmare, but she didn't. She's being stalked by a puppet, guys. She didn't. Personal personal hygiene, really? It looked like a job. Really? Really? You think that's stupid? Of all the shit that you guys have come across this season, the thing that is outlandish to you guys is the possibility of a potential person or a demon being inhabited in the body of a puppet? That's the worst thing? That's weighting you guys out? I don't get that, but hey. Morgan. Guys, it's always demons. Like I'm not complaining, but, uh, there are a lot of demons running around for there are a lot of demons running around for sure, definitely. Also, big props to whoever draws the, photos in the prop books that Giles carries around for 7 seasons. Whoever did that, their drawings are just amazing. This is one of the most iconic shots of this episode. Wait for it. Ah! Cordy. Ugh. If teachers did that today, the student will get the teacher fired. That's unbelievable how times have changed. He's not. Interesting. When I was a kid, I just thought that this guy was crazy, man. But now watching this character as an adult, he just has so many more levels to him. He just has so many more levels to him that I think it's really interesting how, the writers wrote him. That's not creepy at all. Well, that pushing wasn't creepy at all. This episode is actually, it's playing better for me this time around. And in my last rewatch, I just thought this episode was fun, but now it's so much better. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm finally doing this episode in a watch along, and I can record this episode for posterity purposes, or something like that. I don't know. Oh, this doesn't he ever go home, or does he fucking lurk around there like some sort of evil, decrepit vampire or something? I bet you do, Buff. And we sure as hell we sure as hell know that you can take care of yourself, definitely. As somebody who likes characters who actually do research in movies to learn about the problem that they're facing, I really, really like the storytelling trope of Buffy that almost every week the Scoobies have to do research to figure out what kind of big bad they're facing for that particular week and how to beat it. I love that. A lot of shows today with similar premises to Buffy the Vampire Slayer wouldn't do that. You would normally have like a character who was a part of the main cast who had all the answers and would serve as a exposition machine for the audience. They wouldn't even do research because they would have somebody on the team that had the answers already. The only exciting thing for modern audience the only exciting thing for modern audience to do is to find out how the big supernatural team is going to take down the big supernatural baddie. But Buffy and other shows of this type, which there weren't too many, Angel did it too later on, had this thing where you would where as an audience member you would discover things along with the characters, and the characters would do tons of research to help them defeat again the big bad that they were facing for that particular week. So that's it. I mean, that's just another tip in the cap for Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Because again, not a lot of TV shows today take that approach. I stand corrected, but not not many TV shows of this ilk take that approach because procedurals do, but not many TV shows of this ilk do that these days. This is a great scene. This is a great scene building up the tension. Just give me a minute to catch my breath. Just give me a minute to recover. Just give me a minute to get the goddamn thing off my torso there. This is creepy. Oh, see, this is subverting expectations. The whole episode, we're thinking that this guy is the big bad and the big victim, but we find out slowly that that's not the case, and that's perfect misdirection and again subverting expectations uh, uh, um, to the audience by the writers. It's such a great, such a great switcheroo by the writers. Make them look this way, make them think something else, and at the very last second, take the rug out from under them and tell them that the big bad isn't really the big bad of the episode. So great. Oh my god. As a kid, didn't didn't get the flirtiness, the sexual innuendos there, but as an adult, you definitely get those, which adds another layer to rewatching Buffy as an adult. Oh my god, they forgot about the show! Holy shit! Holy shit! That you know, I I love the fact like 10 minutes ago, Giles is saying, "We gotta do the show and then we can deal with this demon problem." And then they get tied up in the demon problem, and then they forget about the fucking show. I love the fact that I love the fact that Courtney in this episode is all positive going through it, and she complains to Giles that she is behind, the guys who play, uh, that she's behind a band or she's succeeding a band, and then when it comes time to, uh, be a part of the show, she fucking wigs and she just gets stage fright. I love that. I thought, I thought, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is actually the soul of a demon in a dummy or the soul of a human guy in a dummy? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that, you know, this is the soul of a guy in a dummy or the soul of a demon in a dummy? Because he just said 2 seconds ago he was human once. So maybe he killed a demon and as a punishment, his soul got transferred into a dummy? I don't know. See, this is where it would come in handy to watch these episodes with somebody. I thought there was supposed to be some powwow session. I guess not. Uh-oh. Maybe he is bad at maybe Sid is bad after all. Maybe it's a double cross. Maybe he was presented as a villain. He comes off as a good guy, but maybe he'll turn coat one more time and still be the villain. Who knows? What is the deal with Snyder lurking around this entire episode? What's the fucking deal with that? What is the deal with that? Ooh. That's a brain. Oh my god. I love the classic MacBook, and if I touched a brain buff, I wouldn't be able to ever stop washing my hands either. No, actually, that's an AOL symbol on the top of the Mac there. I love that. He's dying. Willow. Uh-huh. He doesn't want you, sweetheart, he wants your brain. Oof. That's sharp. Oh, shit. That's a demon. I think that's a demon if I saw what I think I saw, yeah. Smart. No. Giles cannot handle this, guys. You guys gotta go get him. Go get him. See? Case in point, he cannot handle himself. Oh my god. There's no trick. Why am I laughing? I shouldn't be laughing. This is not funny. Toaster caked him. I called it demon. Ah! Oh shit. Oh, thank God. Oof. Oof. Cha-ching. Oof. Locking it wouldn't help. Oof. Now there's a demon. Ow. Oof. Oh. Also, that's a great that's great setup by the writers of this episode, showing the device that will eventually kill the true big bad of this episode, but showing it in a comedic way is great plotting and uh, great setup and it's great setup and great payoff, like I mentioned before. So many good things happened in this episode, misdirection of expectations and great setup and payoff in terms of showing the device that was going to kill the big bad in this episode. And Sid is dead. Or the spirit of the guy that was in Sid is now dead. The light has gone from the monkey. Sorry. The light has gone from the dummy's eyes, guys. Oh my god. I love the fact that they tease this dramatic reading, but they show it in the tra in the they show it in the in the closing credits I love it. I forgot the lines. She forgot the lights. The one person that said the fucking I forgot. Oh my god. Oh shit. Sorry guys. That was just too funny. All right guys, well, that'll do it for my watch along for Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 1, episode 9, The Puppet Show. In the comments below, if you like this episode, tell me what you liked about it or tell me what you didn't like about it. But before you go, if you guys like hearing me talk about TV shows, but you want to hear me talk about movies, well, I have some good news for you. I have a podcast dedicated to discussing movies from a screenplay writer's perspective. It is called the Mixtape Podcast. We are available on every major podcast platform known to man, but we're also available on YouTube. We're also available on YouTube. We are at youtube.com/the Mixtape Podcast. To make it a little easier for you guys, in the description down below, I will post a link there to my podcast. So again, if you want to come over there and hear me talk about movies from a writer's perspective, you're more than welcome to come over there and check out some of our great episodes that we have. And if you like them, give us a like, or better yet, give us a subscribe. But with that house cleaning out of the way, I would like to thank all of you for watching. And until next time, as I say often, I'll see you when I see you.
So much happened here, and so much is about to.